Granddaddy P here. Good evening. I marvel at how BTS Army continues to defend and support how BTS tried and tried and tried and tried to get exemptions from military service. And we're going to cover some of that now. I do most of my talking here on YouTube. Someone very close to me does their speaking on one of the K-pop sites. I won't tell you which one, but they're like Panchoa, All K-pop, Soompi. Well, this person is very close to me, does most of their talking on that. And they get a lot of responses. And they kind of agree with me. So here is a defender. This was written to my friend. Here is a defender defending BTS and their late military service. So here we go. I entitled this BTS BS. So let's go take the first little sentence or paragraph here. Let me read this to you. If you actually knew what you were talking about, you'd know that they were supposed to enlist in 2020 after they released MOTS:7, MOTS 7. I don't know what that is. Don't care. But COVID ruined everything. Their entire world tour was canceled. Let's break that down a sec. Interesting. Very interesting. COVID canceled their tour. Well, friends, what better time to gather up all 7 youngsters and ship them off to the military? Let them do their military duty while everything is shut down. But no, that did not happen. They went home. They worked on recordings. I think they went to the UN and spoke for less than an hour, and then went into the UN chamber and danced around like a bunch of, well, I won't say what, but that's what they did. But they did not go into the military. And they could have back in 2020. Then it goes on to say, even after COVID, they became the ambassadors of World Expo 2030 on a request and had to hold a free concert in Busan for that. Well, they didn't have to. They did, but they didn't have to. And Busan didn't get the Expo 2030. So, to that. All right. Now, he goes on to say, I don't know if you remember or not, but after BTS announced their hiatus to finally go and serve in the military, Lee Ja-yeon, president of the Korea Singers Association, practically begged the BTS to reconsider, please. Their group hiatus, since them being gone, would result in the Hallyu wave ceasing, something like that, which is why the fandom trended the hashtag BTS. It's okay to rest. Aww. 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 Number 1. Who cares what this Lee Ja-yeon wrote? Number 2. They went into the military eventually, did they not? How's Hallyu? Has it ceased? Is it over? Is it dead? Hardly. It's still doing well. So that's a bunch of bull crocky too. It's okay to rest. Hashtag it's okay to rest. Dear BTS Army. Dear BTS Army. Serving in the Republic of Korea military is anything but rest. All right, moving on. I remember, because I paid close attention to this. Don't forget, I was a military man and I served 120 months in the Republic of Korea, defending that country and for my own country's interests. But we're there to defend them. We're still there to defend them. I personally did 120 months in that country. And we were talking about a group of young men in their 20s and up to 30 serving 18 months to 24 months. Big deal. A year and a half? Seriously? My first enlistment was 3 years. What? But they did not. And there were plenty of people pushing for the exemption. And BTS rode it out the best they could. They waited and they waited and they waited and they exhausted every avenue possible before they went in. Now, while they were trying for this exemption, and they were rigorously trying for this exemption, they kept saying, oh, we take it as an honor to serve our country. We look forward, like every other Korean male, to go into the military, defend our country, and serve it with honor. That was BTS. And then they said, but we're waiting on the government to call us. And BTS Army, lock, stock, and barrel believe that nonsense. They still believe that nonsense. But I want you to understand something. Right before they went in, after they had exhausted all avenues that might possibly lead to an exemption, after they were all exhausted, what happened? All of them, guess what they did? Did they wait on the government to call them? They did not. They all, to a man, revoked their extension, or not, whatever it was called, their deferment. They revoked their deferment. You see, they could have done that all along, and they chose not to, because they were looking to get out of serving. And then when push came to shove and they could not get out, then they said, we're so happy to go. That's BTS. That's the BTS BS. And Army continues to back them. There you have it, in a nutshell. Granddaddy P, signing out.